in a way of transitioning over to the Cubs, I want to bring up a former Chicago White Sox,
Andrew Vaughn.
Andrew Vaughn, now with the undefeatable, invincible Milwaukee Brewers.
Best team in baseball.
12 games in a row. Yeah, they've got the best record in baseball for more. I only looked it up for this after the All-Star game, but they're 20-4 in that span. I think they're like 45 out of 60 or some insane thing. But part of that resurgence is Andrew Vaughn. Like, what? I saw the stat the other day. He in 48 games at the White Sox, he had a 531 OPS, which should have meant he was demoted long ago. That is not a competitive OPS for Major League Baseball. But in his 27 games in Milwaukee, he had a 1055 OPS, like one of the best hitters in baseball. So did you ever imagine that Andrew Vaughn could put together a 27 game stretch that would amount to an over 1,000 OPS?
I did imagine it because that's why we drafted him in the first round. But as of late, I would say no. So no, I guess reality wise, no, as of what I've seen on the field as a White Sox fan, but that was always the dream.
Well, it's all part of the voodoo magic that is now the Milwaukee Brewers. It used to be the St. Louis Cardinals. They have somehow lost that and transferred it over to the Brewers for the last several years. No one picks the Brewers to do shit.
I did. I picked them to win the division this year in our preseason. So
I don't remember that, but
2 middle fingers up.
Wow. But few pick the Brewers consistently. Congratulations. I think that's more out of spite than anything, but other than your true baseball acumen. But
I mean, the Sox are always fucking the Cubs somehow. They send Andrew Vaughn to the
Brewers.
Out.
Somehow it always works out in the Cubs, in the Sox favor in those transactions. Always fucks the Cubs. But that is a big part of going to be the conversation for my Cubs segment on panic or patience. As when we last joined you, the Cubs actually had a shot in the division. They're 8 games out of the fucking division now, behind Milwaukee as of this afternoon after losing to the Blue Jays. They're only 5 games up for the final wild card slot ahead of the Reds, who have been pretty fucking good, the Fighting Franconas. I think there's great reason for panic in Chicago on the north side for sure, as opposed to Detroit, as I espoused earlier. Cubs are 29th in runs scored since the break. They're just below 500 in that. They're 11-13 right now, I believe, after today's loss. So it's not like they've been horrible or collapsing. It's just that Milwaukee has been ridiculous. They're now 5 games better than anyone else in the majors, I think. It's hard to fathom. While that's going on, MVP, as we coined, or as he was coined earlier, has 0 home runs and a 240 OPS over, I forget what span that is, basically in August. Kyle Tucker, the $600 million man, has the same numbers in the last couple weeks as PCA, 0 home runs and 240 OPS. They flailed again today. Tucker had a key strikeout in a moment in the 8th inning where they had a chance to take the lead and did nothing. Jed Hoyer, I think a lot of fans feel like he let them down in a similar way as fans think in Detroit with Scott Harris, as they did not add much at all at the trade deadline. Mike Soroka, their obvious glaring need at the deadline was starting pitching. They got a starting pitcher who got hurt 2 innings into his Cubs career.
Yeah.
That is some bad due diligence right there. They talked about, they saw his velocity had been down over the last few weeks, but they trained that up. They somehow didn't think it was an injury potential. It was like fatigue is how they explained it away. And of course he gets hurt in the second inning for the Cubs. It's just a a horrific confluence of events that have added to this. In the middle of all that, the aforementioned Jed Hoyer received a contract extension.
He sure did.
Kind of out of the blue. It was mere days before the trade deadline, which we didn't actually talk about in last episode. Curious timing. Not so much if you think about it in terms of Jed going, calling up other GMs or what kind of leverage he might have in a lame duck year. I think it made sense for the Cubs to, if they were going to have Jed around long term, you got to extend him, and so he had some leg to stand on in negotiations. But at the same time, when we saw a lame duck, potentially desperate Jed Hoyer this past offseason, he made a bold fucking move, maybe the boldest move of his career, adding Kyle Tucker and trading away Cam Smith. So it's interesting to juxtapose that with how the newly signed Jed Hoyer with his papers suddenly became very conservative once again, which is his true nature, and did very little and definitely did not want to part with any of the prospect capital in the very quite deep Cubs system. So I just thought that was interesting timing. Of course, it was revealed by Crane Kenny of all people, who I always am mystified why he's talking to the media, why he's revealing details about Jed Hoyer and Tom Ricketts conversations. But apparently that they had a handshake deal done 3 weeks prior to that. So Jed knew for weeks that he was going to be retained as Cubs president and GM. So it's just annoying that came from fucking Crane Kenny. But so I don't know what to believe, if that's really true or seems to make sense. But so it's a frustrating moment. All that coalesces in a very, very disappointing second half so far for the Cubs. I think it's very worthy of panic. There's reinforcements coming as of even last night. Miguel Amaya returned after a long stint on the IL with an oblique injury, only to injure himself running to first base. Did you see that replay?
Oh, was he the one who was getting carted off?
Yeah, he was carted off. It looked like he broke his ankle, blew out his knee, and potentially shattered his pelvis all in one play.
Yikes.
He did the stretching to get to first base on a close play.
Right.
But he stiffened his whole leg, which basically turned his leg into a pole vault for the rest of his body. Shot him straight up in the air. It looked awful. He was in tears. I mean, it was his first game back from such a long stint on the IL, and he had been playing so well before that. So just another brutal moment. Apparently, he only has a sprained ankle. After all of that, after they did the imaging and the x-rays,
it was a really bad sprain. Really bad sprain. Then, I mean, to take a card off the field.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. So there might be more than just a sprain. I don't know why that's the narrative right now. So that was another frustrating moment. The silver lining of that, I guess, is that forced the very conservative Jed Hoyer to actually make a move and bring up their number one prospect, Owen Caissie, today, which makes a ton of sense. A lot of people have been calling for a while to help bolster a very fatigued outfield, I would say, when you look at how the slumps of PCA and Kyle Tucker are coinciding. Ian Happ isn't necessarily lighting up the world. I think they could use some rest, if you think about it. Owen Caissie is kind of the perfect call up, and it could have been done quite a while ago, as he's been hitting, I think it's over 950 OPS with 22 home runs in AAA Iowa. There's no reason he needed to be in Iowa any longer. He's ready. So it's kind of refreshing that Jed actually did it. It's annoying that it was only because of a big injury that actually brought him up here. I mean, people are gonna make excuses or just say I'm making excuses for the Cubs, but I think fatigue is a real issue with Kyle Tucker and potentially PCA. Playing every day in the outfield. Cubs play more day games than anybody else. It's less than they used to, but it's still more than anybody else. And this is the hottest fucking summer I can remember. I mean, I'm in Michigan, but our weather's not too much different than yours. And I live the summers. I try to never close my windows or run the air conditioning. Usually it's about 10 days a year where I'm running the AC. Well, it may be 10 days this summer where I didn't run the AC. It has been a brutal summer. I think Kyle Tucker has been used to playing in an air-conditioned environment in Houston all this time. PCA's, just a kid, like going through this stuff for the first, second time for a whole year. I think it's obvious that fatigue is a factor, and bringing up Caissie makes a ton of sense. We'll see if that makes any difference. It certainly is not going to make a difference in the division because we've got 40 games left, and the Cubs are down by 8 games, and Brewers don't look like they're gonna. I mean, they can't continue this streak, can they? Their winning streak is up to 12 games.
I mean, did you hear what happened because of that 12th game?
The free burgers.
Free burgers at George Webb's.
Okay, I've never heard of George Webb. I thought that was just some guy's house. Is that that's apparently a burger chain, or
yeah?
What is
and they've had this like 12-game win streak free burger thing in place for like 50 years or something
and it's
like that.
Only happened like 3 times.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been there.
I heard it was a shithole. Like
I never heard of it either. So.
Yeah, I don't think many people go there except for if there are free burgers.
But I heard about it this morning because of the free burgers.
Well, congratulations to all the Wisconsinites, whatever the fuck they're called.
Go get a shitty hamburger.
Yeah, go eat your shitty hamburgers. Hopefully your winning streak never gets to this length ever again. But the division's over. There's no way the Cubs are making up 8 games in 40. And I would be a little bit nervous about having just that 5-game lead in the wild card over the third.
+4 after today's loss. I have it pulled up right now.
Okay, see, it was 5.5 I had written down, so I subtracted the half game after they lost today. So maybe I did the math too soon.
It says they're +4, LA's +3.5.
Oh no, but you gotta add in how far behind.
Cincinnati's 5 back of the Cubs, but only 1 back of the Mets.
That's how I did the math. Maybe that's not how you're supposed to do it. But
I apologize.
We're arguing about math again. I'm sorry. I hacked that site too, by the way.
What the fuck is wrong with you and your hacking?
I had time this afternoon.
Jesus.
Actually, I didn't. So yeah, the verdict is panic on the north side of Chicago.
Yeah, I would panic. It's on fucking fire over there, and not in a good way.
Do you think my fatigue excuse, the heat, is bullshit? Or
yeah, I mean, it's a pussy excuse, so it's cool.
You think there's zero merit to it? Is it hot there? Has it been hot there? Or
it's been hot for everyone. It's been hot for the White Sox players who played every day this year, but somehow
you don't play the same number of day games. That was my point. I mean, the Cubs play way more day games.
Night too.
No, come on, not the same way.
Yes, it's been repressive humidity. We can't even sit out on the deck at night. It's been so hot. But sun, of course, adds a whole other element. I mean,
as we've learned over time, the sun creates heat.
Yeah, but
that's our science minute right there.
I guess the Cubs, the players are tired. They're not conditioned well enough to play in hot weather. So we'll phone in. I hope the little could they compete in the Little League World Series right now? It's hot there too. Those kids are competing. Is it all right? I'm kidding. It does have merit.
Can we have an honest conversation?
I know. I'm just I'm fucking around a little. We don't fuck around enough sometimes. Ugh. I'm not a dick enough sometimes. I'm not an asshole enough. No, but I mean, I guess
I thought you had matured.
I see. I can't. And the Sox are doing well right now. They're doing better than the Cubs. I can't.
500.
I can't.
Over 24.
Yeah, 500 is better than everyone else in this fucking on this fucking podcast.
I'm mailing you your trophy.
That's right. Mail me my fucking trophy.
Word Hole Media.